Did you know? Studies show that firstborn daughters are more likely to struggle with perfectionism than their younger siblings. It is not just statistic. It's real, I can tell you. I am a firstborn daughter myself, and for years, I carried the weight of perfectionism. I put so much pressure on myself to get everything right, to be the perfect example, to never fail. And while on the outside it looked like strength, on the inside, it often felt like exhaustion. But thankfully, I decided to take intentional steps to break free. And I've seen how personal development, rooted in faith, can transform this struggle into strength. So let me ask you, are you a firstborn daughter who feels the same? Do you find yourself stuck in overthinking, afraid to fail, or trying to do it all alone? If what I just said describes you, then this video is for you. Growing up as a firstborn daughter, you probably heard things like, "You are the example. Don't mess up. Your siblings are watching you." Maybe you felt the need to carry responsibility beyond your years. Over time, with lack of understanding, these words planted a seed in you that love, approval, and worth are tied to your performance and how perfect you are. So now, as an adult, you find yourself double-checking everything, every word, every action, every detail. Rest doesn't come easy because your mind is always racing with what could go wrong. When you make a small mistake, you replay it in your head 100 times, punishing yourself long after everyone has forgotten. You carry the silent weight of needing to hold it together, to always be the perfect one. And while the world sees you smile and strong, inside you are weary, tired of the pressure, drained from the expectations, and sometimes even quietly resentful, wishing someone could see how heavy it really feels. Hear this, you are not alone. Many firstborn daughters struggle with perfectionism, and you don't have to live this way forever. Perfectionism might look good on the outside. Organized, hardworking, dependable. But on the inside, it creates fear of failure. You avoid some risks or opportunities because you can't stand the thought of not being perfect. It leads to overthinking. You spend hours trying to get things just perfect, wasting time and peace. And let's be real, Perfectionism is just procrastination in a fancy outfit. It delays actions because you are too busy polishing instead of progressing. It makes mistakes feel like proof that you are not good enough. Mistakes are not seen as part of growth. They are seen as proof of failure. So instead of trying, you fear even starting because you can't risk being less than perfect. It also leads to control issues. You think if you are not perfect, maybe everything will fall apart. You don't delegate because you think no one else can do it as well as you. So you try to do everything alone perfectly, which eventually leads to burnout. Please hear this. God never called us to perfectionism. He called us to excellence. And there is a big difference between the two. Excellence is about giving your best with what God has placed in your hands and trusting Him with the rest. It is growth-oriented and focuses on continuous improvement. Perfectionism, on the other hand, is about trying to do everything flawlessly to earn approval, and it is fear-based. It always leads to fear, burnout, and stress. Excellence brings peace, but perfectionism steals it. By the way, I want to invite you to my free masterclass on vision and dreams. We'll focus on the missing piece to fulfill your God-given vision. If you want to be part of it, just send us "I am in" or "interested" and your name via email, and we'll send you all the details. Back to the video. So how do we break free? For me, I realized I couldn't stay stuck in perfectionism forever. It was suffocating me. The pressure to be perfect was draining life out of me. God had not called me to live in a constant pressure and fear. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. I made a decision to start working on my own personal development. Not to be self-centered, but to intentionally shape my character, my habits, and my mindset. And as I grew, I began to learn how to adjust, how to let go of the pressure to be perfect, and how to carry responsibility of being first that God has given me with more grace and strength. Along the way, I started journaling and reflecting. I began to see patterns in my perfectionism. That self-awareness helped me replace these patterns with healthier habits. I had to learn that failure is not final. Every time I stumbled, I remind myself of Proverbs 24:16. Though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. Falling doesn't mean I am finished. It means I am growing. I am learning that rest, delegating, and balance actually makes me stronger. They protect me from burnout. I am learning to celebrate progress instead of beating myself up or be frustrated for not being flawless. I started practicing gratitude for small wins and reminding myself that God calls me to excellence, not perfection. Responsibility doesn't mean flawlessness. It means faithfulness. So today, I walk alongside with firstborn daughters to encourage them to rewire the mindset. I encourage them to release the pressure, to choose progress over perfection, rest over burnout, and growth over overthinking. I remind them of the blessing of being firstborn daughters. I remind them that the responsibility given unto us as firstborn daughters is unique, and that it does not depend on how perfect we are, but on how faithful and excellent we choose to be. If this spoke to your heart, subscribe and be part of our growing community of women becoming all God created us to be. Share this with another sister who needs encouragement, and let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Thank you for watching.